This auspicious occasion, may we follow the teaching and attitude of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, both in personal and non-personal ethics. Forward to establish business connections and ethics that create bonds of trust between buyers and customers who are interested in doing business with Indonesian companies, buying Indonesian products, and following Indonesian business models. Distinguished guests, business representative from Indonesia and Egypt, exporters and importers, I have the pleasure and honor to congratulate you on behalf of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Cairo and all the team who made this event happen on the success of holding a virtual business matching for both the Indonesian and Egyptian business actors amid all difficulties. I would like to thank you for your kind participation in this Indonesia-Egypt virtual business matching. Despite what we are going through in this COVID-19 pandemic, and despite all the difficulties the world is facing in the health sector, the Indonesian-Egyptian trade volume showed positive indicators and figures. In particular, in the food sector, including coffee and spices, as well as other potential products. Egypt, with a population more than 100 million people, is a rapidly developing country offering a great potential in terms of trade, tourism, and investment. Egypt, as well as countries in the MENA region, used to have a strong ties with Indonesia for centuries, cemented through trade, dissemination, and religious thought and cultural exchange. We have known each other for hundreds of years, connected over the seas, and the flow of maritime trade between Asia and Africa has been very advanced. Egypt is an important and non-traditional trading partner for Indonesia. Indonesian export products were ranked number 19 among the products that Egypt import, with the share of 1.5 in January until July 2020. For coffee product, in the period of January until July 2020, it reached 28.8 million US dollar with 17.0 tons, while spices reached 2.4 million US dollar with 600 tons, with an increase 35.6 compared to the same period in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting was held to further strengthen business relations between Indonesia and Egyptian business representatives. Ta'aruf efforts or presentations need to be carried out continuously for the business, the product, and the business culture, so that we can reap the fruits from this effort in the form of mutual profit and blessings. Today, in this event, we have among us buyers, both those who are new to the Indonesian market in the sector of coffee and spices, and those who are loyal buyers who buy from Indonesia since ages. In this regard, I would like you to seize this golden opportunity to learn more about Indonesian product, to conduct negotiations, and to unlock potential business transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, in the end, I would like to highlight that this business matching bringing all together Egyptian exporters and importers is a sign of prosperous business atmosphere in Egypt, as well as the stability, which paves the way to exploring potential business opportunity and collaboration that will add the welfare of the people of both countries. We are looking forward toward intensive business collaborations, and we here in the Indonesian Embassy in Cairo have the pleasure to help Indonesian businessmen in their effort to do business in Egypt. In conclusion, I wish you all the success in this virtual business matching, and hopefully it will result in significant transaction for both parties. For both parties. Thank you, and thank you. Syukron, syukron, and syukron. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Haji Surya, for your remark. Next speech will be Indonesian Commercial Attaché to Egypt, Mr. Irman Adi Purwanto Mufti. To Mr. Irman Adi Purwanto Mufti, the time is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon and good evening in Indonesia. The Honorable Dr. Hasan Musri, the Director General of National Export Development, the Ministry of Trade of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Muhammad Haji Surya, the Charge d'Affaires of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Cairo, Mr. Ilyas Bad, the CEO of MadeInIndonesia.com, Mr. Eko Nugroho, the GM International Division of BNI, the Honorable Mr. Aris Nugroho, the SGS GIS Business Manager. Also, I'd like to say the Honorable Mrs. Olfi Andrianita, the Director of Export Product Development of the National Export Development in the Ministry of Trade, and Mr. John Admiral, the Economic Function of the Embassy of the Indonesia, Mr. Khairul Saleh, the Director of Economic Empowerment by the Ministry of Economy, Mrs. Noviana Putri, Manager of Business and Government Enterprise at Telkom, Egyptian buyers and importers of coffee and spices, Indonesian exporters, producers and suppliers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for all your attendance in this special event of the virtual business meeting between the Indonesia and Egypt exporters and importers. This is an occasion to strengthen our good relationship, to maintain partnership, and seeking opportunity in enhancing the trade business between Indonesia and Egypt. This event is also a continuation strategy from the previous webinars, which have been already held simultaneously by the Embassy of Indonesia and need to be sustained. This special occasion will be an opening door, not only for today's, but also for the long-term partnership between all of us, reaching the new networking and added possible transaction which can be benefited among suppliers and buyers. Our market share has already been mentioned by our Director General and also the Charge d'Affaires, is still very low as compared to other countries. The Indonesian trade with Egypt is still below 1.5% if compared, let's say, with China, which is more already than 5%. There are still huge gaps that we can fulfill through our bilateral trade relation, among others. We hope that through this B2B meeting, which can be considered as one of the ways to fill in this gap. Indonesia is #1 exporters in Africa, considering that Egypt is a country located in North Africa. There are advantages that export of coffee from Indonesia and Egypt, there's no duty whatsoever. And for spices, relatively less than 2%. This is a very good prospect. Also, in this opportunity, we'd like also to invite you later on to join the Virtual Trade Expo Indonesia, which will be held on the 10th until 16th of November 2020. I wish you all the good luck, and let's make many deals together today. I thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Thank you, sir, for your brief speech and remark. Next is video recording speech from our madeInIndonesia.com CEO, Mr. Ilyas Bad. Our host, Mr. Yudis or Mr. Agi, may helping us to play the video recording, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, my sincere apologies for not being personally present in this meeting. I got a call from the governor's office from Bandung at the last minute, and I shortly will be on my way after this short video. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude and big thanks to Mr. Kasan Mohri, Director General, National Export Development, Republic of Indonesia, and Mr. Aji Surya, Acting Ambassador for Egypt on behalf of Republic of Indonesia, and the rest of the participants being here today. A big thanks for Mr. Imran Perwanto, Commercial Attache, Indonesian Embassy for Cairo, and Made in Indonesia team for arranging this virtual business meeting between MadeInIndonesia.com sellers and esteemed buyers from the great country of Egypt. This business meeting is a part of MadeInIndonesia.com virtual trade show and business meeting campaign across 50 countries around the world to create visibility, matchmaking for Indonesian seller companies and their respective product offerings. A brief introduction about Made in Indonesia and its value proposition, how the platform works, and how it bridges the gap between Indonesian suppliers or Indonesian seller companies and international buyers. MadeInIndonesia.com is Indonesia's first business-to-business e-commerce platform, a marketplace aimed to empower Indonesian seller companies. MadeInIndonesia.com also helps international buyers by simplifying sourcing and procurement, especially the international procurement, while disrupting the linear supply chain of Indonesia, creating a reputation system which historically has been a big challenge between buyers and sellers, especially overseas buyers, to conduct transactions online. We aim to be a next generation marketplace for B2B commerce, providing simple, scalable, and secure solutions of selling and buying in bulk online at wholesale prices. In terms of export market, I think Indonesia is around 23rd, 24th largest exporter in the world. MadeInIndonesia.com is focusing on 5 to 6 high-value industries which are non-oil and gas and sustainable, that include agro supplies or agro commodities, that include textile, home and decor, organic chemicals, heavy and electrical equipments and supplies. So those are the categories and products which we are focused on and where we are onboarding the Indonesian seller companies. We already have onboarded almost 1,000 companies that are ranging from small and medium enterprise to some of the big, large companies that are Fortune 200 companies. And we aim to onboard around 100,000 companies from Indonesia with over 1 million users in the next 5 years. So as a marketplace, we are an open marketplace. We are both buyer and seller centric, meaning we encourage transactions that are fair and transparent on the platform by being a custodian to those transactions without getting biased towards either seller or buyer. For sellers, we are offering series of a family of services that includes all the state-of-art digital solutions, but not only that, but also financial solutions through our third-party partners, trade insurance, ranging from CRM to ERP solutions for our seller companies to globalize their business offering and connect them with the global e-commerce market. On the other side, for buyers, we are offering a broader supplier base, especially the small and medium enterprise, which is a very fragmented market from Indonesia, higher bargaining power, reduced inventory and product costs for buyers, escrow systems to make sure that their transactions are protected. We temporarily withhold the payments till they receive the products, for example, and various services that include the verification, or especially if there is a production monitoring required for a large production order. So basically, the idea is to bring transactional and overall supply chain transformation, automation, to bring more efficient way and superior way of buying and selling. So with that being said, I would like to conclude, and I would like to once again thank all of you for taking of your time for this meeting today. In case from the audience anyone has questions, please feel free to ask my business manager, Ms. Mutia, who is also there in the meeting. She'll be very happy to address any questions on my behalf. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ilyas Bat. Next speech will be presented by SGS Business Manager, Mr. Aris Nugroho. To Mr. Aris Nugroho, the time is yours, sirs.
Good afternoon in Cairo, and good evening for everyone in Indonesia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
My pleasure, my honor, invited to this great event and cooperate with the Made in Indonesia, and the supporting coming from great support coming from the Indonesian Embassy in Cairo and Ministry of Trade. The Honorable His Excellency Mr. Kasan Munir, Director General National Export Development, Ministry of Trade of Indonesia, and His Excellency Mr. Aji Surya, Acting Ambassadors of Indonesia in Cairo, and Mr. Irman Ardi, Trade Attaché in Cairo. Of course, His Excellency Mr. Ilyas, the CEO of Made in Indonesia, and all great partners that join in this event, in great event that arranged by Made in Indonesia at this great time. And SGS Indonesia here try to, as more than 140 years company in the world that specifically in the inspection, testing, verification, and supporting between buyer and sellers, and make a bridging for the export and trade in the world, that try to make everyone in the seller and buyer can and have a very good product that can receive in when the product is reached to destination, especially in Cairo. And here SGS in Indonesia can support the buyers based in Cairo to verify the sellers who based in Indonesia. This is the common problems that usually has made when doing the transaction, when the partner buy online, especially buy online, and the involving also the small medium enterprise. How to ensure the product that after you buy the product coming from Indonesia, the product is meet the specification that you buy before until it's reached to the destination country, especially in Cairo. The same things that coming from the sellers here, also it give you the security when your product is already confirmed, the product is confirmed with the specification coming from the buyer has been defined. As we know, that currently the product, as we discussed today, is more concerned regarding coffee and spices. This product has a lot of variety, it's widespread quality. Now the main question, how you ensure the quality of the product itself? How you to ensure that the coffee exported coming from Indonesia as per the buyer expectation, as per the buyer specification, and the same things that for the spice as well. So we are in here in Indonesia try to support you to ensure your product quality, to ensure even we have the laboratories facilities to testing your products, both for coffee and spices, and issue the product testing certificates. Yeah, for other product rather than the food, other than the coffee and spices discussed here, there is another 25 products that regulated by GOAIC in Egypt, which means you need to comply the regulation before the product enter to Cairo. To ensure that and to avoid any kind of problem when the product has reached the Cairo port. Yeah. I think that's all that I can share. So anything that any question, any support that required coming from SGS during today discussion, please welcome and enjoy this event. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Aris Nugroho. Next will be Mr. Eko Setio Nugroho, General Manager of BNI International Division. We welcome Mr. Eko Setio Nugroho. The time is yours.
Mr. Muhammad Aziz Surya, Senator of the Indonesia Embassy in Cairo. Mr. Iman Adi Purwanto Mufti, Indonesia Masyarakat Malaysia to Egypt. Mr. Ilasbar, CEO of Indonesia.com. Mr. Aziz Nugroho, SGS Business Manager. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let us thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given blessing to us. Therefore, we can gather here in this spiritual meeting. Pemerintah Indonesia is the leading state-owned enterprise bank, which has 6 fully operated overseas branches located in Singapore, Hong Kong, Tokyo, London, New York, and Seoul. And we have a mission to bridging the world and innovation. This expanded network enables Pemerintah Indonesia to excel and also leading the market of trade finance business that is accelerating every year in the domestic as well as abroad. Pemerintah Indonesia also has a partnership with more than 1,600 correspondent banks located in more than 100 countries all over the world. Bank Indonesia also owns around 1,900 online distributed in all regions all over Indonesia, supported with an integrated service system to handle trade finance transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, Bank Indonesia also offers a wide range of trade finance products, comprehensive letter of credit, standby LC, bank guarantee, and documentary protection. In line with the rapid growth of trade finance globally, Bank Indonesia has been always keeping with current trade market trends for the purpose of fulfilling customer needs by improving its existing trade products into a well-structured trade finance. With the support of our network in Indonesia and overseas, we believe that we can support your trade business. Thank you very much and wish you all always in a good health and safe. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Mr. Eko Setio Nugroho for your speech and remark, and all honorable speakers previously. Once again, I would like to inform you that our event fully supported by BNI, SGS, and Telkom Indonesia. Distinguished guests, we prepare 10 private rooms for discussion between seller and buyer. The room number 1 is a member of Minister for Cooperative and Small Medium Enterprise, which consists of Koperasi Kopi Wanita Gayo, Koperasi Pedagang Kopi, Koperasi Produsen Gunung Luhur Berkah, which will be led by Ms. Elvira Rosa Hadining Tias. The room number 2 consists of Koperasi Solok Rajo, the Kopi Inang Coffee Winkel, Kopi Classic Bean, which will be led by Ms. Prima Desita. Room number 3, PT Sarina with spices and coffee commodities will be presented by Mr. Rakesh Kumar Ashok Adwani and Mrs. Levita Sari Darmawan. Room number 4, Temati with the tea commodity will be presented by Mrs. Eni Putri Handayani. Room number 5, PT Pelopor Karya Bangsa with paper commodities will be presented by Mr. Andi Hijratul Aswad. Room number 6, PT Momotaro with coffee commodity, will be presented by Mr. Feli Lacho. Room number 7, Indonesian Laju Kela Coffee, of course, coffee commodity, will be presented by Mr. Iwan Agung. Room number 8, Garangganti Coffee, also with the coffee commodity, will be presented by Mr. Husnur Rido Safdi. Room number 9, PT Kopi Prima Indonesia with the coffee commodity, will be presented by Mr. Rijal Akmal. Our strategic partner will be happy to give assistance and answer to all questions that will be addressed in room number 10, whether about export matter or regarding our platform, madeinindonesia.com. Mr. Aris Nugroho from SGS, Mr. Eko Setio Nugroho from BNI, Mrs. Novita Putri Kusumasari from Telkom, and Ms. Mutia Safitri from Made in Indonesia. Buyer will be able to join all room that we've been prepared. Meanwhile, seller will be selected and classified by host to join certain room. All room will be guided by our staff, by the staff of embassy, and also providing the translator from Indonesian embassy in Cairo. All activities in Cairo will be led by Mr. Samsu Alam. We would like to remind you again, all seller or speakers need to prepare a brief summary around 2 minutes by the end of the section. Our host will make sure everything will running smoothly. That's all from me. And then I leave it to host to divide it every seller and put it in certain room. Please, host. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we have through more than 1 hour of discussion between seller and buyer. Now we will give each seller 2 minutes to make a brief summary or conclusion. First, I will give time to Miss Elvira Rosa Hadining Tias to summarize from room 1, which consists of Koperasi Kopi Wanita Gayo, Koperasi Pedagang Kopi, and then Koperasi Produsen Gunung Berkah. Mbak.
Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Okay, my name is Ocha as representative of Ministry of Cooperative and SME, and we really appreciate today event, and thank you to Cairo Trade Attaché who facilitated the seller meeting with the buyer. In our breakout room, there were 3 cooperative in business meeting, which is Ketiara Cooperative, Koko Wagayo, and Gunung Luhur Cooperative. All cooperative are produce coffee. Some important point from the result of business meeting are one of the buyer asked for grade 3 coffee, while for the Ketiara Cooperative and Koko Wagayo never sold grade 3, and the price offered was not suitable. But however, Gunung Luhur Cooperative can offer grade 3 Robusta coffee, which can then be followed further. And then there is one buyer who asked for grade 2 Arabica, which is still possible for all seller to fulfill. Seller from room 1, because seller from room 1 is all Arabica product, and for grade grade 1 majority. I think the important point of today's meeting is that the buyer are currently looking for grade 2 and 3 coffee, both Arabica and Robusta, because they want to target the middle class meeting. This will be our note that we will offer to other seller who have the specification needed by the buyer. I think that's all, Mr. Ari. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ocha, for your brief conclusion. And then another 2 minutes from Ms. Prima Desita which is consists of Koperasi Solok Rajo, the Kopi Inang Coffee, and then Koperasi Classic Bean. Please, Miss Prima Desita.
Okay, thank you for the time given to me. From room 2, actually some points that we can conclude is we have 2 buyers, and one of them they're looking for Arabica, and he actually interested in all 3 cooperative and SME. He will contact them directly after this opportunity, and he already noted all the contact numbers, so we can discuss about it further about what next step to be taken. And the second buyer, he was looking for Robusta coffee, so I connected him with the Kopi Inang, and they will have another meetings or further discussions. I would like to invite Kopi Inang, maybe you have something to add, or maybe from other cooperative.
That's enough, actually. I mean, I'm glad for this B2B meeting. I mean, this is the first time for me to have this because Boyolali just started to have coffee. Thank you for the chance.
Okay, for Solok Rajo or Classic Beans, is there anything to be added? I don't think it's a problem to speak in Indonesia, right?
Yes, sure, it's okay.
Well, the first buyer, he already familiar with Classic Beans, and earlier he had contact with people in Classic Bean, and they actually discussed some business opportunities in managing some plantations or something, but I'm not really clear about. Maybe they will have a further contact about that. I think I can wrap it up here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Prima. I think that's a very great news from both of you, Miss Ocha and also Miss Prima. Yeah. Okay. We move on to the Sarina with Miss Levita Sari Darmawan. The time is yours, Mbak Levita. From room 3, Mbak Levita, from Sarina.
Yes, thank you, Ari, for the time. And first of all, I want to say congratulations for all the committees which held this event, this business meeting successfully. And thank you so much for the opportunity. And from what happens before, there are 2 buyers who comes to Sarina and mostly asking about Robusta coffee. And because we don't really show many types of coffee that we have, so we ask them for their contact, like email and WhatsApp, phone, so we can directly respond their quotation, response their request. And maybe we will looking first with our suppliers, which can fulfill what they want and what they need. Most of them is asking for roasted and green bean Robusta in all grade, but eventually they tell us to looking for the grade for defect 45, low and up from them. So we will look for that and back to them by email or WhatsApp as soon as possible. Maybe that's all that I can explain. Maybe Miss Putu Laura from Sarina want to add something.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes, Mbak, please. It's okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Levita already told you all the summarize, but actually there's two buyers that will come to our break room, and then most of them asking for the grade 45 until 60, and then mostly they're looking for the Robusta coffee, and then which is quite unique also from the second buyers, which is they're looking for the most like 300 metric tons for one time shipment, and mostly they already import about like 2,000 metric tons per years, and there's a good opportunity for us as a potential buyer as well. And then they're looking for the FOB and the CIF price as well. So yeah, we will give the feedback as soon as possible to their contact. And then thank you for the Indonesia and Kara Atase for what's that to connecting us to them as through the virtual meeting tonight. I mean, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Miss Levita and Putu Laura. I think the highlight is about Robusta, yeah, and then we need to make a follow up for this one, yeah. Thank you for Sarina, and then we go to Temati. Maybe I know that Temati is full team. There is a Miss Anandita, Miss Eni, and also Miss Kika.
Yes.
The time is
Okay.
yours.
First of all, I want to thank to Med Indonesia to give us this opportunity. This is a really good opportunity for us, especially we're new in this exporting goods type of like that. And the buyer asking about like profile and pricing, most of them. And since we are not like having our own tea plantation, we're just a tea blender. The quantity they needed like for more, sorry, if the quantity needed more than 500 kilos per month, it's really for us, it's really hard for us to fulfill because we're not having our own plantation. And then most of the buyer like prefer to buy the raw material. Like they want, we're tea blender. Like on that tea we have another like spices or whatever, and most of the buyers wants to buy them like separately, and they will mix it together by themselves like that in Cairo. That's, and then oh yeah, and since we are new in exporting goods and questions about shipping and logistics, it's a bit hard for us to explain to them. So it will be very appreciated if we can be helped by medindonesia.com team. That's all the summary.
Okay, thank you.
From Tema. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Putri. I think that's a very good sign as a positive one. I think in near future, I hope Temati will have a first shipment for the export. Okay, thank you. And then we go to Mr. Andi Hijratul Aswad from Pelopor Karya Bangsa.
Okay, thank you
sir,
very much.
the time is yours.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I'm from PT Pelopor Karya Bangsa. So actually, first of all, I would like to thanks for Made in Indonesia and then Cairo Atase. Actually, I got one buyer, but actually maybe outside of our product, because in our product for tonight is white pepper and black pepper. It's maybe low demand in Cairo, but actually we believe that inquiry the outside of my product actually maybe because we have some of spicy from Indonesia. So one of the buyer is really interesting about it. Maybe in the futures we can contact together and then maybe make it the transaction in the futures. So that's it. But thank you for the opportunity for tonight.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andy. I think even though you only have one buyer right now tonight, but I do believe that because we have a very good information already forwarded to our Indonesian embassy in Cairo, I think we can still work on it. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Andy. And then we go to and continue to Mr. Very Lachau from PT Momotaro. Please, sir, the time is yours. Mr. Ferry? Mr. Ferry from Momotaro? Still with us?
Hi, sorry. So, my name is Tito. I am representing Momotaro because something Ferry has to do something else. So now I'm I represent Momotaro. Tonight we have two guests. Well, we are we have a special product for Kopi Robusta. So both of our guests asking for Kopi Robusta. One of them asking for 18 ton a month for 45% defects coffee, and then the other one also asking for 18 ton per month, also asking for a high defects coffee. So basically, we can afford to fulfill their request, and this is a very special opportunity for us from Made in Indonesia. We are so thankful for the opportunity. Well, we will do our best to provide everything that they ask from us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Tito. I think one buyer is really good, and then you say that there is two buyers, and then let's make it perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Tito from Momodaro.
Yeah.
And then room number 7, there is a Mr. Iwan Agung from Indonesia Laju Kelak Coffee. Please, sir, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'd like to inform you about my room. Actually, there are two buyers come to my room, and the first one asked about the how many I can afford to them, and he asked about 6 tons, but I told him I cannot supply because I'm a small company, so I can supply only for 10, 100, and also maybe to 100 kilos. And then after that, he asked about price, and I told about my price, and then he going. Actually, and the second is they asked about Robusta too. I mean, first buyer and second buyer is asked about Robusta coffee, and the second one asked about 1 container. And I told him again, I don't have much coffee for Robusta for 1 ton because I'm small company, UMKM, SMA. And I offer him about the Librica coffee from Riau, and he is interested too. And I don't know, he asked about my number, so I give him my number for second buyer because he told me he has brother in Lombok, and maybe he will contact me after that. And that's it from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Iwan Agung. I think that's very good stepping stone. And then let's start with the baby step, Mr. Iwan. Thank you. And then room number 8, there is Mr. Husnurida Safni. The time is yours, sir, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, thank you very much for this opportunity. This is really good event for us to really get to know the real market outside of Indonesia. So the summary is that there are 3 buyers that came to our breakout room. All of them was looking for Robusta green bean, which has defect number ranging from 24 to 50, with quantity ranging from 18 to 20 tons. Since we focus on high quality coffee, we don't really have the product and value proposition that match theirs. We exchange our email for further correspondence. And we also don't provide company profile since our products are available on Made in Indonesia website for those who are interested. I think that would be all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Husnurido Safdi. I think we agreed that one of the keyword is Robusta for tonight. Yeah? Even though you are actually providing better grade of the coffee, but I do believe we can still have a business in future. Thank you, Mr. Husnur. And then the last one is from Mr. Rizal Akmal, PT Kopi Prima Indonesia. The time is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for mine to give this opportunity and connecting us to the buyer. So we can describe our product to this buyer. Then in room 9, just one buyer that visit to our room. The highlight in our discuss is about Robusta bean. We quote about Arabica and Robusta beans that we have, but the buyer just focus on Robusta bean with quality ELB with defect number 45 and 60, and they need minimum 1 container per month. So we have his contact, and then we will contact him to give the competitive quotation, and we will email to him. This is from us, and success for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rizal. I think that's a very good sign to start the business, yeah. All right, and then we go for the last one, room number 10. There are our strategic partner, Mr. Eko from BNI, Mr. Aris from SGS, and also Mbak Mutia from Made in Indonesia, and of course our friends, our colleagues from Indonesian Embassy in Cairo. Maybe Pak Samsu and team would like to add some information from our discussion tonight. If anyone, please. You can speak up for this one. Maybe Pak Samsu. There is something, Pak Samsu, you want to add?
Okay, can I speak now?
Oh, okay. Pak Irman, please, Pak.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Pak Ari, for this opportunity, and it's an honor to us to meet all these prospective suppliers and exporters. So this is a very great opportunity that is not only for this time, but it should be sustained in continuation events for doing all this follow-up about the connection between Indonesia businesses and the Egyptian businesses. So there are some remarks that I would like to highlight in this opportunity. So most of you, I believe, already communicate with several Egyptian businesses that paying many interested on doing business with all of you, and I believe they were all capable of getting some products from some of you, but then it's a matter of the quantity and the quality that they require. So for instance, like the coffee products, many of them, we believe, and as you already noticed, that they require a certain amount of tonnage quantity for the coffee. And this should be pointed as a recommendation for all the coffee suppliers that Egyptian is coffee player. It's a big coffee player. And you have to be very ready to supply this kind of requests from them. So not only the quantity, but also the typical kind of coffee, mostly Robusta. But also they can buy some several amount of Arabica as well, but mostly on Robusta. So this would be pointed also as one of the recommendation if you'd like to enter the Egyptian markets. And there are also some opportunity as well for spices products. But then I also noticed that some of these prospective exporters under the Made in Indonesia also can provide like palm oil that some of these buyers also asking. So this is also a very good chance maybe to arrange a next meeting to highlight or focusing on the palm oil industry and such kind. Also then for tea products, there are some needs on based on for the tea products. So there's a potential opportunity for that. As long as you can provide what they need. So I believe they are asking about the green tea with specific kind of grade, and also and cacao, because actually like coffee, tea, and cacao is one it's one kind of typical products that also very potential to sell and will be uh, there will be a demand as well in many demand as well for tea and for the cacao in Egypt. So it's a very good event. It's a very good meeting today, and I believe it's very fruitful. I believe there will. I hope that there will be a big follow-up, lots of follow-ups in the next few days, in the next future. And please feel free as well to contact us. What can we help you? Not only what already been discussing for today, but maybe if there are any other questions, technical question that you might require, we'd be very happy to answering you. And we need later on after this meeting some records about the potential buying that already been developed through our fruitful meeting today, the one-on-one business matching between the Indonesian and Egyptian businesses. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Irman Adi and Indonesian Embassy team in Cairo for your great effort and also to realize this virtual business event. I know it's not easy to make such an online business meeting since there are, of course, many challenges, connection problem, and also different time. But Alhamdulillah, we made it, Pak. I think I have to agree with you. This is only beginning. So we need to be ready to have a concrete follow-up. Mr. Irman, we cannot disappoint our potential buyer in Cairo because business is about trust. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to end of the event. Even though in Indonesia already almost 10 p.m., but I can see and feel the spirit. I think that's the spirit of entrepreneurship. Please open up or turn on your video because we will have a photo section for our documentation for this section. Maybe host can make a counting. So we make in my laptop, there will be 2 screens. Screen number 1 and also screen number 2. Okay, we can start with the screen number 1. Everybody ready, I think. Please put a smile on your face. The best one. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Saya ulangi di screen 1, 1, 2, 3. Senyumnya kurang lebar, di screen 2 masih banyak yang nutup. Katanya harus 1 ke kiri dan ke kanan, Pak ya. Sorry, 5 cm ya, jangan 1 cm. Saya hitung sampai 3, lagi 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. All right, distinguished, I'm as a master of ceremony on behalf of madeinindonesia.com would like to apologize if there are mistakes during the event. Hopefully this event will beneficial for all of us because in business, it's about people and it's about relationship. Once again, our event fully supported by BNI, SGS, and Telkom Indonesia. Thank you for your attention. Final word I say, Alhamdulillah and wassalamualaikum. Thank you, good night, and bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Bapak Ibu, mohon izin. Terima kasih seller dan buyer, tim dari KBRI, Kairo. Terima kasih Pak Irman, Pak Sam, Pak Amir.
Ya, terima kasih semua Bapak-Bapak, Ibu-ibu semua.
Baik,
Luar
Pak.
biasa, sukses, sukses.
Baik, ini sudah kami rekam, Pak. Insya Allah nanti kami share videonya ke Bapak-Bapak semua dalam waktu dekat. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh. Barakallah.